our goal with the Tips and Trips program is to help you get more value more quickly from SimTrain. We have a lot of uncovered value that you know about. Our time to value with our solution is strong. But maybe there's some hidden or value that we need to help you uncover and share with you. So that's the goal of this program. We have a rotating series of people coming in and helping you see what the potential of the solution is. But it's also a chance for you outside of our specific agenda to ask questions and share any, maybe you've found something that you want to share with the group that helps, but maybe you also want to ask a question or resolve something that you're stuck with or struggling with that you think can happen more easily, but you just need some more training. So we're here to do two things: share information with you that'll be two-way, where we're presenting tips and tricks to you. And also, back from you, what can we do to help you? If that sounds good, that's the goal of the program, is to help you get more value more quickly. We're here every Wednesday at 2. We're not sure exactly what we're going to do in the holiday. Probably not the last Wednesday of the year, but yeah, we're going to be here with somebody else rotating through. So bookmark it. We're still trying to figure out Teams here and how Teams can set this as a standing invite for you. So we're working on it, and we'll try to make this as easy for you to find this and to join us and to jump in with us. Okay. So with that, I'll ask Anne to help moderate two things. One is letting people in, what she's doing, and also any questions come up in chat, because I've got to kind of pay attention here, and Lester and I will be helping you with what we're doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I want you to let me know if you can see my main screen here.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, great. So I'm going to share a couple of different things with you at first. First, I want to make sure you could see that it was up and visible. And then what I want to do is I want to get to another screen here, and I want to just quickly take you through two things. John, for you, we have a BPO program. Make sure that you know about it. If you don't know about it, work with Jamie, Callie, me, Dan, to make sure you know about it. And then what I wanted to do for the learning and development people, share one slide with you. The Two Sigma problem is moving learners to standard deviations of performance through a couple of different steps. And what we do is we do the One Sigma problem. We have demonstrated ability to move C's to B's and B's to A's, which can dramatically change to the tune of thousands of dollars a month per agent performance in a contact center, where there's outcomes like collections or revenue sales, or at least $500 to $700 per month per agent in value being uncovered by leveraging SimTrain. So for the L&D folks out there, I wanted you to see that. How do we deploy? We deploy in two primary use cases: helping learners in the contact center and back office become proficient, become confident and competent very quickly. We turn that speed to green, the time to proficiency, we cut that in half. Whereas the actual learning is cut significantly, the training. Nesting is usually collapsed or eliminated. And then kind of that time, that 15, 30, 60 days of being in tenured production is really important for them to get that. But we kind of compact that too. So the whole time to proficiency is dropped in half. And we do this across the contact center and back office workers. What we do, the way we deploy, is we benchmark skills, maybe all of them, tens of thousands of agents potentially across vendors and geographies. And from that, we establish the areas where we can coach production agents with AI coaching and onboarding. When you're bringing agents in, we give assessments. Our clients who have matured with us are giving candidates for hire assessments and then tiering them A's through E's. And depending upon how many fannies you need to get into seats and how quickly you need to do it, we're allowing you to just address the A's and B's to give you what you need in order to get enough candidates through the process to fill seats at the end of training. So there's a little more data in here that we'll share, but I'm gonna just quickly get down to this one because I want to highlight that a little bit later. So I'm not going to go back and we're going to get into the conversation today, but I wanted to do that as a level set. Any questions about what SimTrain does around that? The reason that I show those different elements is we need to tell you how to create a large library so you can use assessments quickly and easily, how you can take content that you've created for coaching and then reuse that and redeploy that front and back office with moment sims for targeted moments of truths and dialogues and so forth. Any questions so far? Okay. Well, everybody knows the interface, I think, at least a little bit, and some of you are experts and more expert than I. So we have obviously the trainee, the manager, the sim creator, and the org admin. So the goal of today is to share with you some of the abilities that we have to take a single, well done, complex sim and turn it into 15 sims in less than 2 hours. Now, we don't have 2 hours here, so we're going to show you the methodology of how we go about it, and then you can build on it and certainly ask us questions. Okay, so that's what we want to do. So obviously, we have our whole area here where you're very familiar with what we have for the usage of SimTrain as a sim creator persona or role here. So what I want to do now to share with you is what we do is we take sims and we create them into modules. So the first thing I want to do is I want to find the sim that I want to share with you. So I'm looking at a healthcare sim, and I'm looking for a specific one. And there's a couple of ways for me to look for it. I can search for it here. But I also know that it's within a module. So I have lots and lots of healthcare sims. This is my instance, and I think it might be wise for me to share with you that in this instance, this is my testing instance where I test product as it evolves through from early development and towards alpha and then into beta before user acceptance testing and then into production. So I'm not in a production environment. We may see an anomaly or two. I don't want you to be kind of worried about that, but okay, I found the sim I want. So here it is in this area, and this is where we want to get to. We want to have a sim. You can see all of these are modules. You can see I have 14 sims for business development. You see all of the different elements and what we can do for learning paths from those different sims. And then we see we have down here a health insurance coverage question. We have 13 sims. Let me draw your attention to why one really strong, powerful sim can then be repurposed into numerous sims. So first of all, we have here the one that I was looking for, my health insurance coverage question beginner sim. This is a sophisticated sim that has the whole beginner dialogue built into it. So it's fully scripted. And when it gets to the software workflow help and learning path, it has all of that built in. So you have a really powerful, robust sim that's built out, and it has, of course, it's the entire dialogue. So it has the very beginning, the greeting, identification, verification, discovery of the challenge, the intent. Why is this person calling? And then we have, let's walk through what the challenges are. And we have everything that's actually going on in life going on here. This could be someone who's agitated. It could be their third or fourth try. They could be experiencing a crisis because it's health insurance. There's all these things going on. So there's areas to help with empathy, de-escalation. There's all of those areas. So we look at all of the different elements of what can happen when we create a great first sim and how we can repurpose that sim in many different ways. And in this case, we have 13, but frankly, we've only scratched the surface, if you asked me. We can do beginner, intermediate, and advanced. We can then say focus on your handle or talk time. We can say focus on your opening. Make sure you got that right. And there's appropriate empathy for the intent. We got to make sure we're gathering the information about what the challenge is. What, in this case, it's a health insurance coverage question. What is it they need covered? what is the status? How do we then look at what is their status of their different elements of their healthcare coverage? Help them identify and work towards, hey, what is their coverage? Does it cover this? What's the status of their deductible and so forth? So the first thing I want to do with this sim is I want to go ahead and get back to this sim, find it, and then I want to start working with it with you. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and begin this, grab this sim, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at what we can do with this great sim once we decide we're going to tweak it. All right. So let's just go and grab this puppy. And I think that's the intermediate. And here's the beginner. I think this is the one we're looking for, 622. Yep. The other thing I could have looked for, I could have put more in the search and I could have entered or written down the number there. So I think everybody's familiar with this, but let's just take a look at what these dots on the right mean. So this gives me, I can label, by the way, I can label this. So I can go ahead and put in healthcare so I can find it easier. So it's going to create one, and I can also put in beginner. So if I want to find all my beginner sims, you see I already have that. I can put in, this is audio, visual, front office, back office, anything that specifically you're focusing on. And so over here I can go in and edit this. I can clone it. I can preview it in practice or test mode. I can look at the overview video, and then I can I can replace it or I can delete it. And then I can share this. And this is important when you are creating sims and then you need to use them, implement them into LMSs, implement them into CCAS or workforce management platforms to be able to distribute sims. There's a couple of ways you can do it. You can go to the report of all of the deep links, or you can create them one at a time. And here's my deep link. I can copy this and now I can go paste this somewhere. If I want my whole team to take this sim right now. A big area is people creating phishing sims in financial services when a phishing attack hits, and they create a very short audio sim about how to handle the dialogue, about doing extra validation or verification of the caller. And so they'll create a quick 30, 40-second sim. They'll get the deep link and they'll stick it into a messaging app like Slack, Teams, Zoom, and so forth. And they'll say, everybody needs to take this the next half hour, and people will work it into their call pattern and they'll take that sim really quickly. So that's another way you can get it up. So let's go back to where we were here. What I want to do here is when I have my master sim that I love, I don't want to edit it. I want to clone it first. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to say my H21 healthcare insurance sim has been cloned. And now I'm just going to go look for my H21, and I'm going to see the one that I just cloned coming up right here. And here it is. Okay, so here's my copy. I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to edit this one. Okay, and now this should look very familiar to you. The first thing that we want to do here is we want to let's go ahead and make sure we label this correctly. I have a naming convention of the year, the month, and the date, and then I usually put my name in, and then I want to maybe go out to the end here, and I'm going to talk about this becoming an intermediate sim. So I already have intermediate sim, but I'm going to make another one and show you how you can take this existing sim. Let's go ahead and make it advanced because that's just a little bit quicker. And I think you'll know how to do the next step. Okay. Again, here's where I have my, my ability to label. You can see I have labels, and you'll see if I type in healthcare, I already have that healthcare one made, and I'll be able to pick that one. You see it's right here. So I have that, and I can add those. This is a visual sim, so we're going to keep trucking with that. We're editing an existing sim. Up here, if you don't know it, this is where you can change the voice that you like. Now, naturally, I like Jim M, so we're going to go ahead and pick that one. Then I can change the names. I can actually have names instead of it saying customer. I can have it maybe say my buddy Lester. So we're going to say Lester there. And the agent, maybe we're going to pick on Anne again because she's helping us out. We'll make her famous. And then I'm going to save these just to make sure I get them saved. And then I'm going to go back. I'm going to take a quick look at advanced. This is where I want to make this an advanced sim. one of the first things you do when you make an advanced sim is you take the script away for the learner to see it and read it. So look how fast this is to create an advanced sim. Imagine if this is an audio only sim where you didn't have any visualizations. So now I'm going to go in, I'm going to hide that script in the test mode. So the learner, when he or she is going to be doing this, the script is still there in the background. We're still recording the script and transcribing it, but now we're comparing it to what is in the script in the background that the learner can't read or see, but we're comparing their results, including the keywords, to what they've been able to do by making this one toggle change here. And look at the other thing I can do. I can turn off all the hotspots. So all of the software interactions now will also go away. The interactions are still there. They still have to do the right things. They still have to do them in the right order. They still have to do them correctly. You can also time out so that they do it quickly, and you can still assess their typing speed and their accuracy. So, but now all of the support's gone. Effectively, when the agent, learner, back office worker takes this sim, it's as if they're in production and they're getting scored. So ideally, they work through a path of being a beginner, and they've rehearsed in practice mode and developed the confidence and competence, and then took the test. When they took the test, they saw, hey, I only got 65. Let me go see where I could be more proficient. And they go and they look at their playback and they identify the areas where they have an opportunity to improve. And then they go into intermediate mode. And intermediate mode is we replace the script with coaching tips. It might say, instead of, thank you very much for calling ABC Healthcare, my name is Jim. I'm happy to assist you today. It'll say, greet the caller. And that's it. So they have to know what they're supposed to say. And if there's keywords in there, such as thank you and how may I assist or help you and all of those different elements, that's all in there. So does this make sense? We just took this from a straightforward, super powerful beginner sim, and with a click of a couple of buttons, Lester, keep me honest, we have now made this an advanced sim. Lester, what do you think? What more work do I have to do ahead of me?
Totally. I mean, hi everybody. With this, to make it an advanced sim, basically is what Jim just mentioned, right? The click of a button hides every single script in here. It's not that it takes it away, but it will remain in the background, right? To like Jim said, comparing what the user said or what the user mentioned, comparing it to what the actual script is right here.
Great. Anybody have any questions about this? I'm going to go through the process, but I'm looking for feedback, comments, shouts of anger, cries of
You are
just,
actually going to walk through using that sim.
yeah.
I look
And now
forward to it.
I'm ready to go, right? Right, Mr. Lester?
Of course we are. Yeah.
There we go. And again, before I get one more chance to review what I'm going to be doing, well, and let's talk on a couple other things. You can have a survey show up at the end, a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You can hide sentiment scores. Those are the in the playback mode. When you finish a sim, you can see that. We've done a lot of work on sentiment scores, and they're super good and accurate. But sometimes there's a reason not to share them, so you can toggle those on and off. And again, keyword scores. You can also turn off their keywords. But at this point, we're testing people in advanced sim. They're ready for production if they in terms of being able to run the dialogue in the software. They're ready for production. They may still be in onboarding, learning more product knowledge, getting more credentials for access to systems and so forth. So here we go. Let's go ahead and publish this. And there we have it. What do you think? So now we're beginning to build a library, and obviously there was a lot of talking going on there, but in a matter of just a few minutes, you've now created a sim that you can test proficiency against for your agents and back office workers, but before they exit their onboarding. Okay, thoughts about that? All right, let's go back and find our friend. Which was it? H21. Let's go back and find our friend H21 beginner. And let's, I think I have a ton of them. Remember, we created 13 so originally. So now we're going to do something a little different. We're going to pay attention to what I'm doing. So here's the one I made the beginner. Here's the one I made the beginner test. And here's the talk. Here's one that I did that I'd like to share with you. I want to preview this. I want to show you what we did yesterday when we took this beginner sim. Sorry, I'm in the wrong mode here. Quickly, let's get over here to it. I'm going to go ahead and go to trainee mode. Let me make sure it's assigned to me. I'll go to assignments and H21. What we did yesterday is we talked about how to break them down and quickly make changes to all of your different sims quickly. You see, we have this one as handle time. What we did for this one, right? Let me do it by this one right here. Let me make sure it's assigned to me. It is, because I have all 18 users. Okay, great. So I can go to, I can go and go back to Sims, do my H21. I can look at all couple dozen we've made. And we're going to go back. We'll actually show you how to go ahead and create this as a, is it 19? I need to write it down. That'd be easier and quicker for you. Sorry to drag you through this. Where's my beginner? That's average handle time. Each coverage. Yeah, it's 19622. 19622. Okay. So let's go ahead and clone this one again. Again, not editing because we love this sim. Now we're going to clone it. We're going to do that. And now we're going to sort by created on so I can find it quickly. And it should be this one. Yep. And here we go. So now we're going to edit it. First thing we want to do is make sure that we edit it according to how we want to do it. So 23, 12, 13. And this is, we're going to talk about making this talk time 2, focusing on talk time. So now we can do that. We can do talk time. We can do, some people call it handle time. Some people call it average handle time. It's not really average handle time because there's no average. This is just one person taking it. There's no average to it. And then we can see we have the rest of it here. And so how do we take this perfect sim and identify that, you know, we need to address the fact that our handle times have been creeping up in the group. Maybe it's because we just had a wave of onboarding, and everybody who's on the program for less than 30 days, their handle time is, you know, a standard deviation or a significant difference from the rest of the team. So let's go ahead and give them what they need in order to create this handle time. So the first, what are we going to do? You see what it says here? In this simulation, will help a customer identify whether a procedure is covered by their healthcare. In this simulation, we're going to go ahead and edit this. I am going to go ahead and edit this. All right, what am I doing wrong here? I want to edit this, my friend.
Oh, there you go. It's already there. You have selected everything, but it's just there you go.
In this simulation, you will focus on handle or talk time. Now, what we've just done with that simple change is that we have created, when this plays, you can now take this deep link, which we showed you how to do earlier, and you can send it to production teams and say, we want you to focus on your talk time. Now, if I'd done this from the beginning, I would have known what the talk time is on average on this, the whole, I talk about talk time as the dialogue area that we typically create simulations for. If you have things like after call work, then that's the total time of the handle of that interaction. But in this one, we don't have after call work. So I'm talking about the handle time equals talk time on this one. If I knew that it was 90 seconds or I knew it was 4 minutes and 50 seconds, I want to say, I want you to be able to move your dialogue swiftly towards getting this completed in 4 minutes and 40 seconds. When you have a really large contact center, a second makes a difference. But we also want to make sure that when they do this, that we follow it up with, in this next scenario, you're going to focus on empathy. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to publish this sim. Now we have a new sim with a new opening that's just focused on talk time. And you can take that deep link and you can send it to production agents and have them work on that. And you can give them a calibration of how long you want that to be. So if I search for 23, 12, 13, I'm going to get only the ones I've been working on. And we did this one with talk time 2. We can go in here and we can clone this one. We can confirm that. And now we'll just do a quick refresh. 13, and we'll have the new one come up. And here it is. This is going to be a copy. This is the one. So we're going to now edit that one, and we can go edit the sim details. And we're going to take the copy off. We're going to say we're going to focus not on talk time, but now that they focus on talk time, guess what happened? Who wants to raise their hand and say, what happens when you focus on talk time?
Quality goes down.
Quality goes down, empathy goes down, conversion rates might go down, things happen, right? So be careful what you ask for, because you might get it, right? So now we're going to do one where we focus on empathy, and we're going to save those changes, and you're going to go in here and you're just going to go ahead and take this out. You focus on, let's see, I think I got it, empathy. Yep, there we go. I'll hit that and hit that. You may, depends on whether you have recorded audio or you have text-to-speech audio, but you can go, again, remember, you can go in here and you can change the audio and it'll match now. And now all of the audio will match, and now I can hit proceed, and now I created another one. All right, so we're 2:30 Eastern. And now what we're going to do is we're going to share something with you, which is really walking off the ledge for me, because I'm not very good at this. So we're going to have some backup support from my friend Lester on this. So we're going to, this helps me find it. So let's go here. Let's find my nice visual sim. I think I can change any one of these. You can see I have a viz only. We're going to do a visual only. Many of our clients and many of you may have, for every front office worker, 1 to 3 back office workers. So how do you leverage all of this massive content you're quickly and easily creating using SimTrain? How do you take that investment you have and repurpose it to get your armies of agents in the back office at the same level, high level of proficiency, again, in 30 to 50% of the time? So let's repurpose this content that you've invested in, you've created or you've invested in, and let's go ahead and make a visual only sim that'll help back office agents become super powerful and ready to go. Okay, so let's just go ahead. We can just take one of these talk times. We're going to clone it. There we go. And then we're going to do our little search for it, and it'll come back and we'll see our copy. Here it is down here. And now we're going to edit it. We're going to hit edit, and we're going to go here and we're going to do sim details. We're going to dump this little thing off here. We don't like copy. We don't like that. And we're going to put, this isn't question. It's not a dialogue anymore. This is back office. We'll call it back office 1, and it's a visual sim. And we're going to go ahead and save that. And we can call this maybe visual. We see we have visual. We can, if you like the viz, you can put in viz. You can put in back office for your back office workers. And we can save that. And now we know what we want out of this. And again, we're going to go here. We're going to do a couple quick things. First of all, I'm going to click here. And if I'm deleting all of my script, what happens? I have to go here, and then I'm going to delete, and away goes. It's like, yeah, you sure, dude? You spent a lot of time nailing this dialogue. It's pretty sweet. What are you doing? You all right, Jim? The answer is yes. I am sure I want to do that. Okay. However, we like to have a kickoff line to kind of organize the learners' thinking as they come into this. So we're going to go ahead. We don't even have to do anything fancy. We don't need a recording. We don't need to record a conversation. We don't need to upload a script. We don't need to use our awesome Gen AI. If you're not using that, we'll show you that here. That's going to be our last thing before we go to questions. We're going to go in here and we're going to say, in this scenario, you will be learning the software and workflow of a claim. Let's call it that. Not exactly that, but let's call it that. So we're going to put that there, right? And that's all I need. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we have to kick it off, right? So now we're going to go down here. We're going to add our script, which is sitting right here for me. Awesome. I'm going to add that. And there's a couple things we have to do. We're not done yet. So I want that to go first, right? So I want the script line to play first. So I've got the contact reason and the subcontact reason, but this is visual only. So we probably want to give them a little bit more help in the beginner sim. So what's the next thing we want to do? Let's go ahead and add hotspots and help them navigate this as a beginner sim. So we're going to go up here and we know that contact reason is the first thing that happens. So let's give them a little bit of support. So we're going to give them a coaching tip. So we're going to call this coaching tip 1 or CT1. What are we going to say? We're going to tell them what they're supposed to say or what they're supposed to do, not say. So we're going to tell them select the item below and we're going to say click on. We're going to say click on the item below, select claim, I think is what's in there. So we're going to do that. Okay. Now you can go ahead and time this out, make sure they get there quickly and they fail if they don't. You can also, if this is a text field, you can actually enter the exact text and you can say it's a keyword. Lots of things you can do to measure their speed to work through simulations and their accuracy of typing and so forth. So a lot you can do. But let's go ahead and do a voiceover on it. All right, so it's now going to read this as well as show it. And if I want, I can make it, my favorite color is, Callie? Blue. In case you can't tell. My favorite color is blue. So if you're sending me Christmas gifts out there, go ahead and do that. And again, of course, we like Jim M. And we're going to go ahead and pop this in there. All right. Ta-da! Now we're going to go ahead and do another one, right? Because we want to help them figure out this one. So we're going to go ahead and pop this in. We're also going to make it a coaching tip. I'm going to talk fast so you can see how fast it is if you do this. And we're going to go click on the below, select. All right, this is a test for you, Lester. You remember?
Plain.
Procedural. I think it's select procedural.
Oh, that one procedural. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And we're going to do the audio and just to jazz it up, we're going to make it nice and blue, kind of a teal blue. That's also kind of a favorite. Font size, different things you can do, colors, the sequence. So we still have some work to do. We're not done yet. We're going to save these changes. We're going to go back. We're going to make sure that these are sequenced in right. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to make sure that the sequence for my contact reason 1 is that. And then the second one is the coaching tip 2. And so now I have this. And the magic of SimTrain allows you to just preview. So let's see how I did. We should have a test. See if I pass.
Click on the item below. Select Claim.
Wow, look at this.
Click on the below. Select
We
procedural.
didn't select Gem M. I failed. We're done. We're done. All right,
There you
so
go.
that's a way that you can now go through every one of your screens and just add a couple coaching tips. And now you're training your armies of back office agents, leveraging the same content you spent so much money and time on to develop and to create. All right, what sim creation questions do you have, Stump Lester?
Right now, um, when we first created our sim, remember we wrote or we typed in a little description, right? A brief description. So, um, which is the one that will help us explaining or kind of like making this the whole sim making sense, right, for the user. So, um, on that one, I think we skipped that part of assigning the script to the sim, right?
Okay, okay, yep. All right, does anybody have any questions about what we've shown you so far? I have one more thing I promised I'd show you, which is the breakthrough AI, the Gen AI we have. Anybody have any questions? I want you to be thinking in the meantime of some really, really difficult dialogues that you want to have.
You said you were going to run that advanced sim for us to see too, right?
The which one, Artrell?
The advanced sim that you had copied and then turned it into an advanced sim. I haven't seen those yet.
Okay. Okay, cool. I'm in this screen, so I'll show that and then I'll go over there.
Thanks.
All right, so the way I look at how we can create the audio component of this is one is if you work kind of left to right, you can be on a Teams or Zoom meeting and you can have a conversation with somebody and you can record that and it becomes the audio dialogue of a sim. Really simple. You have two proficient practitioners, like a supervisor and an agent, or two top level agents, and you want to say, hey, team needs a really good sim on how to handle this challenging issue. Have them go back and forth with it. They can be reading a script as well. Lots of different things you can do. Next thing you can do is you can upload audio. So there's a way to do that. And then soon, those of you, I don't know if there's anybody a 5.9 customer out there, a variant customer out there. You might see a couple things in the background here. You might see Agent Desktop Plus, which is our platform running inside of there. You can also see over here the 5.9 console operational up here in the background. So we can suck massive recording libraries off of CCAS platforms, QA platforms, and then they become a warehouse where we can then use Gen AI, which we're going to do, or you can upload scripts, or you can type them in as you saw. So let's go ahead and do one here, and let's come up with one. Let's say it's a really challenging situation, right? Let's say it's ABC Auto Insurance Company agent. Let's see, Agent Sophia has a call from, let's see, Artrell. Yeah, why not? We'll make him famous. Has a call from Artrell. Artrell has been in an, let's not make it Artrell because I'm going to do something kind of difficult and I don't want to have any bad karma. Let's call it, let's go here. Hang on a sec. I don't like where I was going with that. From a customer who has been in an accident with loss of life. This happens. I hate to be Debbie Downer, but one of the biggest things we help with is job shock.
We did a little job shock too, but just with swearing, customers swearing, but not quite as heavy as what you have here.
Right, the abusive tone, like I could have made this abusive for sure. She helps the consumer with the claim and quickly provides support for a rental and process the claim to buy a new car. Okay. So you can get super, super detailed, like abusive, like you're saying, Artrell, or like we probably wouldn't do a demo with all that kind of language, but it happens and you can put that in there. There's all that kind of stuff for sure. So now this is when you sit back and you talk to your cube mate and you say, hey, how's it going? You know, how the Bills do? Yeah, what do you think we're going to do this weekend? You know, who's going to get in the Super Bowl? Do you hear that crazy story about Green Bay and Brett Favre? Yeah, that's pretty awesome, huh? Because it takes 15 to 30 seconds for us to mine massive quantities. And what we're doing here is pretty cool. So we have our own libraries. You can have your own libraries, what you can wall off, and it's your own domain. That's in development. It'll be ready probably Q1. I don't want to commit our engineering team, but they're working on that. So you can just have your own data in there. This is all redacted information, by the way. Or if we don't have it in our own library, in our own audio library, then we start reaching out to different ones to make sure we have an amazing script for you. So good morning. Thank you for calling ABC Insurance. My name's Sophia. I'm here to assist you. How may I help you today? Oh, I just had a car accident. It's really serious. There's loss of life and I'm feeling overwhelmed. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that. So you can see this is a quick thing here on variables. You can go in here and you can insert different types of variables about company name, agent name, different things around if you want a policy number, location, all these different things can be put in if you didn't type it in. What I did here was I typed in the name of the auto insurance company. The variable would have picked up that there's no company name here. Do you want to insert that as a variable? So every time it's time for the agent to speak company name, it would come up automatically. So lots of things you can do with that. What that allows somebody like a BPO to do is to have a great library of, for example, insurance. If they have 4 or 5 insurance companies or lines of business within an insurance company, it allows them to create a SIM and then just go in and change the variable and clone it, edit it, change the variable. Now you got a new one for that whole line of business. So all of these things are time to value. We really help you get value quickly. All right, I'm going to run through this. I think, the point of this was to show how much detailed information there is and how quickly you can create a SIM. And then you just go in and quickly, highlight, you want to make a keyword, you want to make an adjustment. You don't like how that's phrased, but you can very quickly create libraries of SIMs. Does that make sense? All right, I'm going to go ahead and drop out of here. What questions do you have while I'm finding the advanced SIM that we just made? Oh, come on. I wanted you guys to stump Lester. Brought him on here and he always shows me up. He's so good at this. All right, here we go.
In this simulation, you will help a customer identify whether a procedure is covered by their health insurance. Step 1 opening.
Thank you for calling ABC Healthcare. My name is Jim. How may I help you today?
Hi, my name is Ash. I wanted to inquire if a specific medical procedure is covered by my health insurance.
Ash, super to hear from you today. Thanks very much for calling. I'm so happy to take your call. Let me see if I can help you. Just give me a moment here to work with my platform and make sure that we got everything covered here.
Ash Harris.
Okay, I didn't say please tell me your name so I can put it in. So I just got a big point taken off. Thanks a lot for showing me up, Artrell. Okay, now I know I have to click here because I've done this a bunch of times, but it doesn't show. What's happening here is I'm not getting the script down here and I'm not getting navigation assistance. So I go and click there and it'll migrate to the next step. Okay, I'm looking up your coverage now. And that's how it works. Does it make sense?
It does. So this was an example of advanced with video simulation, right?
Yep, that's right.
Cool.
And you can do obviously advanced. We can see if we have an advanced audio only, and then you can really make me look foolish. Let's see. This collections one might be. Let me see. Let's see. Beginner, intermediate, advanced. No, I'm not sure that I have one that's audio only, but we could have quickly made one. I'm just mindful of the time.
Yeah, I
And
saw enough. I appreciate that.
yeah, man. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do is just, reveal that or share that. How about Sandra, Richard, Bobby? Any questions from the audience? Anything you're stuck with that you're trying to manage? Any chats out there where people are make sure I'm covering things you want to hear that?
No, nothing for me.
Well,
This is Bobby. This is fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, man, you bet. Thanks for joining. Good to see you. Sandra?
Well, I was gonna say that I started using SimTrain recently. I just uploaded some of the recordings from our sales reps, and I was a little stuck because they are experiencing some situations with the dialogues. So now I can see that I can edit. So that's really good. That's like actually a relief because I was wondering, oh my God, I wasted my time. I'm gonna have to start all over again. But now I can see that I can edit. I can improve the dialogues. So great, thank you.
Have some fun with it. Show up next Wednesday if you're still stuck, or show up next Wednesday anyway. We'll be handing out our crack marketing team is coming up with prizes for people who show up, like an attendance prize, and then who asks questions. So there's probably several cents worth of value in those prizes coming to you. So we'd be happy to share them with you. That's great. Thanks, Sandra. I'm glad we were able to show you some things that could help. How about Richard?
All good so far. So yeah, I don't really have any questions.
How far are you into the journey of learning how to use SimTrain?
So we just kind of had it set up 2 weeks ago. We have a lot of geos, so we're still finalizing which ones are we going to prioritize at the moment. So we have not started anything yet, but we'll have it. We'll launch it to our team by Q1 next year. So these meetings would definitely help us out in finalizing that too.
Okay, awesome. Lester, we got just a couple minutes. Is there anything we missed that you think we should share?
Well, you covered pretty much everything, Jim. But I wanted to mention something now that I heard from Sandra, what she experienced recently. That's kind of like her daily situation. When we deal with recordings, when we want to create our sims. So yeah, you can go ahead and edit everything, edit everything away. And a recommendation if you wanna get ahead of any issues that you may experience within your sims, you can also change the name of your customer in the sim with the name in the recording, in the audio. So that way it'll be easier for the platform to identify who is who, and then you won't have all of the script in one side. So it's another tip, right?
Okay, because that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's
In one side.
You're not the
yeah.
first. So this is what I do. I keep my little library of items here, and in my scripts, I have all these different script lines. So, here's one, and that's exactly it, is making sure you have these well-defined. The difference, I'll make this a little bigger, having these well-defined agent customer, or it could be, just make sure you have that. And then once you do that, it makes it a lot easier for the platform to identify it. And then once you have agent and customer, you can change the agent name to, a real person's name, and the customer's name to a real person's name. That makes it super quick and easy.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
I might be offering you 6 minutes back to your life. Does anybody from the team, like our super proficient people, Jose in support, congratulations. Jamie in customer success management. Kalpana, who manages the entire workflow for our implementations. Anything we missed that you think you get questions from your customers that we should show them today, what we could be doing?
This is Jamie. I think that one of the main things that you could do is when you're utilizing the tool and you're in there and you're creating things, if you have a question about something that it does or could do, let us know about that. All of our good features come from all of you, and it's really about building this product together to make the most effective training tool possible for you and your team.
I love that, Jamie. Thank you for saying that, because this is one of the things I made a note to cover. Anytime you have an issue, you click the question mark up here. You can type out what you have and then click on upload a report, because it'll take it'll collect the data of what you worked on over the last few minutes, and it'll create a report and it'll show what happened. But yes, if you see something that you think could be better, hey, it would be great if you guys did this, or I could use some things like that. And then Jamie, let me ask you this. Where do people find the knowledge base if they want to learn more on their own, or they're stuck and it's not Wednesday? All right, Lester, where do you find?
Let me go off the mic. So yes, absolutely. So we have a really comprehensive knowledge base. It is help.simtrain.com. And there are lots of different segments of it, going through SimTrain basics, user management, components, lots of different areas. It is constantly being improved. So we would love for you to go and give that a look. There's a search bar. You can put something in there and quickly find what you're looking for, but it's help.simtrain.com.
Yep, that's awesome. Thank you very much for that. And if you're watching this later as a recording and you're not yet a customer and you'd like to become one, the easiest way to do that is to go to simtrain.ai or com and then cruise around here. You can learn about all of the use cases we have for different industries, our solutions, which is the benchmarking, pre-hire, onboarding, coaching for front and back office. Our events are here. There's more resources here, case studies. But what I wanted to get to is you can hit free trial and you can enter your name. And then we want to know a little bit about what your role is so we can identify you and target the correct SIMs to put in your instance. And then put in your business email. It must be a business email, your phone number, your company name, a little bit about how big your organization is, and then what is the industry you're in. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get it automatically logged. We will take this information, log into our runtime environment, create an instance for you especially, send you credentials, and you are a sim trainer. And you can go in and you can run sims, you can interact with sims, and then become just as good as Lester in a matter of days or weeks. All right, awesome. Any other questions, comments, feedback, thoughts, help you need? Great. And I see in the chat, there's been a bunch of really good data dropped in here. So I'm going to leave this open just for a few minutes so you can move over to the chat and you can click on a few of these and you can have those, because I think once this shuts down, I don't think you'd be able to access. So we'll just hold this open for a minute. But I really appreciate you investing an hour of your day. I wish everybody around the world that joins our sessions has a very peaceful and calm end of the year and time with their family. Thoughts about how great the year went and how next year can be better, and create your plans for next year. And come to us if you need any help with SimTrain. Lester, thank you,
Jim.
for your help.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Artrell.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate you joining. Thanks to the team for all the support.